Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with you. Now, if you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, the Moat into chat and let the people know that that's what you're about. Or you can just say hi. You don't have to. You don't have to throw emotes in there, but it's nice to see who's here. You also don't have to chat if you don't want to, but it's also nice. We will be getting started in just a few minutes with the actual build process. If you are new to this, Isabella, hello. Welcome. Aristophan, nice to see you. Lastbrook, hello. Jessica, hello. Welcome. Dude Wants His Rug is here. Hell yeah. We got a great crew already. Some familiar faces, some new people. Welcome. We are working on the Thousand Sunny from One Piece. Now, this particular version is from the movie Stampede. They did have to modify the Thousand Sunny in order to be able to fly. So they added some wings, but they made it like an emperor penguin, which is not a flying bird. And that's fun. And I'm excited to make this. Somebody bought this off my wish list. I don't know who you are, and thank you. I'm rocking a new shirt. This shirt is Extremely Serious Wrestling. They are a comedy wrestling league, which is high on comedy and also high on wrestling. That is on hiatus, like all comedy. Um, and unlike some professional wrestling companies, they have not been deemed essential, so they're not doing shows right now. But XSW, a lot of great independent wrestlers come through because it's based in New York. Perhaps Orange Cassidy before he was AEW bound when he was defending his independent wrestling championship. Perhaps he wrestled there. Perhaps. A wide variety of fun folks come through, including friend of the stream, Ian Valfor, who we saw in our last Smack Talk Showdown stream. So yeah, got a good history with XSW. The founder of XSW, Mitchell Fesh, did a lot of stuff and helped out quite a bit in the comedy wrestling league that I ran, and then decided he wanted to work on his own thing, which is rad and great for him. That's just a little bit about the shirt I'm wearing. I'm proud to wear it in support. And I'm happy to see all of you. We're going to get started with the actual build portion of the stream, the nuts of it, the meat and potatoes of it, in a moment or two. We always like to, let people come into the stream, see if anybody wants to hang out, that are running a little behind. I'm going to retweet that we're going to start building in case people don't, if you don't follow me, you don't have your notifications on, you don't know. Sometimes you just got to see that tweet. Harold, thank you for hosting. I'm going to hit the old applause. Appreciate that, my friend. But yeah, I hope you are, there's a lot of streams out there. And I'm glad that some of y'all have decided to put a little time and energy into hanging out here. Because, a lot's going on in the world, right? And we all just got to do our damn best. That's all we can really do. Let's go to the overhead. Let's take a look at this thing. So, have I seen the movie Stampede? No. But did I see this kit and put it on my wish list because it looked great? Yes. I mean, it's just the Thousand Sunny's already a great kit. This is extra and fun. Now, we will be doing a lot of stickers. There are a lot of stickers to be put on this kit. We've already done some of them, and we have way more to do. The one-piece kits that Bandai put out are basically, they're small. They are nice on your desk. Law, his ship, which is also a submarine, the Polar Tang, is really just a cute little thing and is great on a desk. I've heard good things about the movie. I have as well. I've heard people really like it. That it broadens because one of the characters is apparently part of the first King of Pirates. Because he's apparently part of Roger's crew. There's some lore and some history, and also some characters we haven't seen in a while make an appearance in the movie, and that's fun for folks that miss some of the characters that are just not gonna be doing stuff in the current storylines. Um, but yeah, we have gotten a lot of our ship. We've done a lot of the ship that you would normally see, the Thousand Sunny, and now it's time to start to add pieces to it that are the modification in order to allow it to swim, which should be pretty fun. Let's see. We'll get a we'll get going here. Um, so I tweeted about this yesterday. Harold, hello. I did purchase some model kits. I bought 2 kits. And then Lashbrook, who's in the chat, sent me a gift code for USA Gundam Store because they're still shipping things. And so I was able to pick up, thanks to Lashbrook, I got myself another kit. So I have some model kits coming. I have some high grades still waiting for me to build. Somebody bought me something off my wish list that's coming at some point. Who knows? And then I also know that somebody else picked up. Or no, sorry, I picked up a Lego set because I want to do Lego at some point in the future. It's been a while since I did some Lego, so I would like to do that. And so I also picked that up because why not? So yeah, spend a little money, put a little money back into the economy. I would like to buy from Gundam Planet because they are located in New Jersey and they are local. And so shipping shouldn't take too long and also should be a problem. But it is unfortunately right now a little hard to tell how behind they are because I think they are barely open. So it'll be interesting to see that. So I didn't want to spend $80 to find out that they're not shipping things, or it will be months and months before they do. I will support them in the future, certainly. In the same way that I would like to support Image Anime, which is Manhattan's model kit place. They are the place where this was years ago that this happened. I was waiting for a model kit to come to build because I had misjudged how long a kit would take to build, and I was done, and I had a stream, and it was supposed to come, and that day that shipment got delayed, so I had to go out and get stuff, and Image Anime had saved the day that day because I was able to have a model kit to build, but I'd gotten very scared about that. So I would like to support them. They're fully closed. They're not shipping anything. They're not doing curbside pickup. They're out of it. And I haven't inquired about Gundam Planet. I should check in and see, since they are local. And I would like to support local businesses if possible. That is the hope anyway. All right, so we got to put some stickers on here. So we will. This is 95. So we will pull our sticker out using our X-Acto knife. X-Acto knife makes things easier. We will. You do get the imprint. It's almost impossible for you to see it, but there are little dots there to let you know what the sticker is covering. So we will put a gray sticker. We will put a gray sticker over a gray piece of plastic, but it is a shinier sticker and also has 4 little gold dots, which were not included. And that's easier than the alternative. Looks good. And then that goes. Oops, sorry. Rolling away. But yeah, I'm trying to support some local businesses. I got that gift card for you and something a little less reasonable for me. Lashbrook got the perfect grade Banshee Norn, the LED kit for it, and the Bandai add-on for it. Lashbrook, that is wonderfully unreasonable. Please, when the time is right, share photos in the Discord, because that fucking rules. I got real quiet about that, because it was like, oh, that's awesome. Congrats. I bought the Diomedes kit with yours because that is a kit that I've wanted. I like those green wings and the big gun. That's just a good kit. And then on my end, we've never built an Easy 8 on this stream before, and we had to fix that. Y'all, we've never built an Easy 8. I actually forget what other kit I bought besides that. I bought the Easy 8, Master Grade. Oh, and the Crossbone. The Crossbone X1. We've built the Chibi super deformed version of the X-Bone. Or the Crossbone, I should say, not X-Bone. I keep wanting to call it X-Bone. It's Crossbone. We built the Chibi Crossbone. We've never built the Master Grade. So I bought those too. We've never built an Easy 8 on this stream. And so we will. And I'm very happy about that because that's going to be awesome uh, in the future. That'll get built. As I said, I do have something coming from my wish list that somebody bought. Uh, it is I think it's Justice. I'm going to look it up. While I do that, check out my list. God, I had this wish list for so long before I realized you could filter it and see when something got purchased. Sometimes it adds in a weird spot. Yes, the Gundam Justice Knight high grade, 144 scale high grade, from Build Divers Re-Rise. Somebody picked that up off my wish list. Who knows when that arrives? But when it does arrive, when it does ship and I get it, that will jump the queue. I actually got an email from the dude who runs it thanking me for being a repeat customer. I pre-ordered the restock of the G40 months ago before the amendment accepted. Yes, last break. I also got an email from an employee at USA Gundam Store because I've bought from them in the past, and they thanking me for because my first order, the order I put in myself, shipped today. They have not processed my other order, which I made last night, which is fine. Hopefully that'll get processed at some point. I would not say that I'm in a rush. I do have this, which will take this stream and probably Saturday, because it's just a lot of stickers. You know, we're not dealing with a lot of parts, but we're dealing with a lot of stickers, a lot of details to add. And then it will also, in some Saturday. And then I have 4 high grades to build. So I've got a bit of a backlog, and then like I said, I've got some things coming in the mail. Yeah, I have no idea if it was a form letter or not, but it was nice. Yeah, like he might just be like, "Hey, thanks." It might just be a thing that they do automatically. I'm not sure. I don't want to claim yes or no on that, but it did feel really nice to get an acknowledgement. Felt good. All right, so now we got to build the tail, because over the rocket portion of the Going Merry, or sorry, not the Going Merry, the Thousand Sunny. This is the Thousand Sunny, y'all. It ain't no Going Merry. The Thousand Sunny, we have to build the tail portion. So put that there. These are all new components. These parts we're building right now that were not part of the original Thousand Sunny design that were added for the movie, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, some of the only pieces we'll be building today that do not involve stickers, but then this next piece does involve a sticker. The add-ons that are fun. Oh! Just Cause 4 is free on the Epic Store, and I got a pop-up notification about that, which is, annoying, but sure. I'm gonna look. Am I gonna play this? Probably not, but I'm gonna get it. Yeah, I can't imagine that I will play it. And in fact, close out of that. I'm gonna close. Epic is apparently, yeah. Gonna turn that off so that it's not on. But yeah, great. Now I have Just Cause 4 for free. As I said, will I be playing that game? I don't know. I'll probably turn it on since I have it. I played Just Cause 2 and thought that was pretty neat, and then that's it. I I didn't play 3 and I didn't play 4. I think I had enough. Yeah, I might have had enough of it by the time all was said and done. Alright, so this goes here. Is that right? It's going to go there. All the way around. 65 is this sticker. Weird. Alright, whoop. But yeah. Yeah, so my stimulus package check went to paying down some debt, which is very nice. Because I have some debts. I had a personal loan from a friend to pay off, and paid that off. Felt good about that. Paid off a few things. Paid my utilities, because my roommate moved out. He's paying for this month, but it didn't feel right for him to pay for the utilities for the month since he's not staying here. So that's all on me. And coincidentally, my beautiful FiOS, the deal I had for the introductory rate for FiOS when we got it, ended. So now I'm paying the regular amount for it, which is not a small... Look, it's not like cable. Hey, Jam, welcome. Happy to have you here. It's not like I'm paying for like cable television or whatever, but it's still like a good amount of money. And so, yeah, so that helped. I bought some groceries. That's pretty rad. And then, yeah, I was semi-joking about it on Twitter, but I did start to support somebody who I used to support on Patreon and has moved since from Patreon to OnlyFans. So I'm supporting them on there because, yeah, you got to support. Got to support where you can. And that company seems all right. All things considered. As much as any corporation can be. All right. There we go. Stickers applied. Sticker applied. I also bought gaffer tape because here's my pro tip. I may have shared this before for y'all out there. If you are like me, then you are fogging up your glasses when you put on your face mask to go outside. You're really fogging it up, and it's a fucking problem. So your solution, if you're like me, is to put on your mask and then take some tape. Not just any tape. You're going to need something that will stick to fabric and skin, and then tape down here so that when you are breathing, the air is not escaping up and fogging up your glasses. And I've been using, it's a real sweaty experience all around. Yeah, so I've been using gaffer's tape because gaff tape works well on anything, just about. Gorilla tape would work, I'm sure. I actually probably wouldn't want Gorilla tape on my skin. I already don't like gaffer's tape on there. But, like, painter's tape's not going to work. Masking tape probably isn't. Duct tape might. But it, and then you can put your glasses on over it, which will kind of keep things in place, and then you don't fog yourself up. And it's worked out okay. It's not perfect. It's not a perfect system, but it will work. Harold, here's the thing about Pizza Groundhog. That groundhog got that pizza. So congratulations. That groundhog, because the thing about Pizza Rat is Pizza Rat went for that slice of pizza and abandoned that slice of pizza. Whereas the groundhog ate that pizza. Now, did that groundhog take its sweet-ass time eating that pizza? Apparently, it took a very long time for that groundhog to devour that pizza. So I'm not super, thumbs up about that. But I do applaud that groundhog for actually getting the job done and getting that pizza. So congrats to that groundhog. You did it. Follow your dreams. Believe in yourself. The impossible is possible. Tonight. Hello, everybody. We got a few viewers that popped in. Out of nowhere. Welcome, welcome. We are working on the Thousand Sunny, the Stampede version from the movie Stampede. It's basically the Thousand Sunny optimized for water flight, which makes sense in the movie. But it's basically the Emperor Penguin version, and it's pretty cute. It's pretty fun. Ig just redeemed the gong. It's gong time. Here comes that gong. Welcome. Here's a gong. Bang a gong. That was a good one. Great. Enjoy your gong. Using those channel points for a gong. Alright, so... Oh, it actually kind of tells us where to put these stickers. That's kind of... Apply from here. All right. Build this. We'll do the circle first. 6. Which is... Circle 6 is 5, 7, 6. Okay, the outer one. It's my favorite thing. Well, I appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, like I said, when my roommate moved out, I went through the stuff that he left behind to see, like, it's like, oh, he didn't really throw away some of the stuff. Okay, cool. Oh, I got to do this. All right. Oh, the closet. Okay, I got to organize it. And then in the closet was this box that just said chimes. And I was like, what is this? And inside, there was, this decorative gong. I was like, oh. Well, that's part of the stream now, because, you gotta have a gimmick. Some streamers have a bell. Some streamers, streamers have digital soundboards. We have our analog digital soundboard. Some people have different, they're different things, right? I go with the Bear Cave theme. Try to go with that. And the workshop kind of elements. Try to incorporate those things. I get it. Alright, so we need B. No, we need sticker. 29. Booyah. So I was sitting on my stoop today. Because that's a thing that, I'm doing that. I'm sitting on that stoop, trying to relax a little bit. Apply sticker from here. Okay. Trying to get a little fresh air. The weather was cold. Thankfully, it is still cold here in New York because once it gets warm, and I'm just sitting there fully masked up. I got my bandana around my mask for an extra layer of like, hey, I mean business. I'm sitting at the stoop, so I am far away from people walking on the sidewalk, nodding to people, whatever. I'm giving people dirty looks through the mask so they can't see it if they are walking without any sort of mask. Because what the fuck y'all doing? And it happened again. There was a person with a mask around their neck while they smoked. They weren't even vaping. They were smoking a cigarette. And it's like, I don't know what to do about that. Like, why even have... Like, did you put that mask on just so your roommate or, cohabitation person didn't yell at you? Is it one of those things? Like when you put a tie on, not because you want to wear a tie, because the person you're with is like, you should be wearing a tie for this. Like, it was that thing. It's like, you don't take the mask off. You don't touch the mask. You don't take the mask off. Like, what are you doing? Ugh. That's beyond like, hey, I also, weirdly enough, me, Pat Baer, have my opinions on smoking. Like, I mean, do it if you gotta, but like, if you can quit, please do, especially when there is a thing going around. I don't know if you heard that attacks your fucking lungs. So maybe strong lungs would be pretty cool. I say this as a former smoker and also as a fairly self-righteous asshole. Who is is self-aware. But I'm fairly self-aware about my bullshit. But goddamn. Oh, fuck smoking. Yeah, Harold. Also, I say this as a former smoker, and also as someone who lost their grandfather, who was a lifelong smoker, to emphysema. Complications are deriving from having emphysema for so long. He didn't die of emphysema. He died of complications uh, from an illness that hospitalized him. But he had emphysema his whole life, and it was cut very short. Um, on the positive side, because we should also be including positive things when they come up. Sometimes those positive things are trivial, like, oh, I guess I could play this thing. Oh, I got this thing. Oh, this thing came out. Oh, that's fun. Um, there was a note on my door when I went to go sit outside. I saw at my apartment door there was a plastic bag and a note that my landlord's kids had stopped over with some supplies. They're fine, but I think the kids worry and they did the like whatever from a distance thing. The kids are my age. They're grown. They dropped off some stuff. Well, apparently neither of my landlords enjoys smart food popcorn, so I got myself a free big old bag of smart food popcorn. And so today was pretty good. Today was pretty damn good because I got that smart food. Um, I now have a small amount of that bag left because that thing went. I have not bought those in quite some time. Uh, I am when I have gotten grocery deliveries, I have opted to not get chips because I don't want them to get crushed in the delivery process because that happens. Um, because I got the last time I got delivery, my loaf of bread I needed to like reshape because it was definitely like shoved in a corner. Whatever. I'm not mad. I was just like, oh, it's good to know. So, um, so yeah, I got some free smart food. So I'm feeling pretty great about that, y'all. Uh, so one of the details I like to point out about this kit is, so this is normally just on the side of the ship, right? And so, it was modified. It's not a new ship. It wasn't meant for it. So these just slip on like they would in the movie. And I think that's very neat because it does add that layer of like, oh yeah, they just kind of like modified the ship a bit to do this one thing. So all these things should like they slip on, parts. They're not replacing that. They're just adding to it. Like that's just neat. I really like that. All right. And now we will, yeah, because it like just doesn't look. It looks added on, which is the point of it. So I like that. All right, we're gonna keep going. We're do the same thing we did on this one side, just on the other. That's pretty fun. But yeah, so I got myself some smart food popcorn. Uh, Feeling pretty good about that. Last night I streamed, did a Twitch Sing stream, and that was a lot of fun. Thank you to everybody that hung out for that. Uh, some folks were there for a bit. Some folks were there just for a little while. Did I miss a sticker? Wait. Oh, shit, there's a sticker on here. They're like, apply this first. I didn't see that. All right, I'm going to see if I can pop this off. I missed a sticker, y'all. All right, so this fits on pretty dang snugly, so I don't know how this is going to work. Let me see what the sticker looks like, because I might just be able to put it on there, at least one side, just whatever, and maybe I'll cheat it. This is sticker 66. I'm annoyed by that. Alright, so what's this on here? We look to see where the sticker goes. Oh, it just follows the line here. I'll just apply it after the fact and it'll be okay. This isn't going to be annoying to do and would have been easier to do before it was attached, but I didn't see the little note that told me. I thought I had read all the notes, but I hadn't read all of the notes. Alright. It's not perfect, but it will do. Another fun thing I did Tuesday night and was released, so people can download it now. I'll link to it when we do our Pause to the Cause, and I talk about ways you can support the stream, and I talk about stuff that I've made. On Tuesday night, I recorded it, and it went live today. I was a guest on a podcast, and it is the Must Have Seen podcast. Must Have Seen TV podcast, I should say. Sorry. The Must Have Seen TV podcast is a podcast that is about like sitcoms, old sitcoms, 70s, 80s, 90s, thousands sitcoms, and we watch an episode, and then we talk about the episode for that, and then we say if this is something you definitely should check out. They're almost always something that is streaming somewhere. Like this one was, you could buy the episode on Amazon Prime, or you could stream it on Hulu. And we watched an episode of the second official season of Saved by the Bell. Now, I say that because depending on if Hulu or Amazon calls it a different season, because Amazon, or one of them, I think maybe Hulu, counts the season of Good Morning Miss Bliss, which was actively considered the season 0, or in some cases season 1 of Saved by the Bell. And for those unfamiliar, one, Saved by the Bell was a TV show. And two, it was the revamp of a previous show called Good Morning Miss Bliss, which was a Disney show that nobody watched. And so they revamped it and went with their younger stars and refocused it on the young people and added newer. They basically got rid of anyone who wasn't attractive and replaced them with attractive people. And they kept Dustin Diamond, who certainly wasn't attractive at the time. Or ever? I don't know. Whatever. No judgments on that part. But yeah, so we watched an episode that is just bonkers. It's just unbelievable. It's early on, and the characters definitely aren't set. And also, none of the teachers, the background teachers that I love, are in it. So, like, the Micro Machine Man isn't in there. And I'm like, I don't know about this. But yeah, listen to that podcast. I'll put a link to it. You Must Have Seen TV. That whole show was bonkers. Yes, Harold, and it was great. It was a great time for me to talk about the fact that Zach Morris had magical powers. Zach Morris' piece of shit videos. Yes, I have seen those, and it's true. Also, hi, John Robert. Yes, and those are in fact accurate. Zach, this episode that we watched, basically the premise is that Zach Morris sucks. They introduced a character, just for this episode character, that in any other show would be some sort of villain. But in fact, he is the voice of reason in the episode, and he's the one that's just like, well, who sucks? You, Zach, you suck. Oh, hello, Crystal. Hi, friends. Okay, so we're gonna do the sticker that we did too late before. We're gonna do now. So yeah, it was fun to watch that episode and just vent about it. Um, with also it has a bunch of nerds, but since it's only season two, they're not the reoccurring nerds that you come to love, like the Queen of the Nerds or the character that's played by Tori Spelling in her first television role, um, or there's a couple other nerd guys, including the African American nerd who has a really deep voice, which always gets a laugh from the audience, which is a weird laugh track thing, audience and or laugh track. Just be like, oh, this guy's got a deep voice. That's funny. And you're like, is it? Um, so that is frustrating that we just have these one-off nerds that we never see or hear from again. It is a weird episode, but it was good to talk about it. Also, hey, fun fact, y'all. It's good to talk to people. It's like I recommend it if you can do it. If you have access to people and you could have like uh I've done FaceTime stuff, Skype, Zoom, Google Hangouts, uh whatever you can do. If you can like have communication with people and not just your thoughts, it's pretty good. Silver Streak just subscribed tier one. That's 6 months. Agreed. Talk with people. Also, hello to you. Thank you so much. I'm gonna hit the applause. Let's throw the Bear Cave thing in there. Thanks, Silver Streak, for subscribing. Appreciate it very much, my friend. Thank you for your continued support. Also, we did have Blue Zoidberg is now following. It's like Zoidberg and Blue. Hell yeah. Welcome. Um, but yeah, I fully and highly recommend chatting with people if you can, because conversations are good, and sometimes maybe sometimes we forget about that. Aristophan just redeemed the gong. I gotta break the gong out. It's gong time. Thank you. Uh, Thank you very much, former roommate, for leaving this gong when you moved out, because now I have a gong. I got a decorative gong, and that is a silly nonsense thing. Okay, be careful not to tear the stickers, y'all. Be careful not to tear the stickers. It tells me right there. We are now working on the front of our ship. Is there a term for the front of the ship that vaguely hear? I'm sure there is. I bought that recorder. Now I need a gong. Hell yeah, you bought a recorder. I love that. I love the idea of just being like, you know what, you know what I need in these times where I'm home and just trying to think about what else to do with myself. I want to get myself a recorder. It's just a fun choice. Um, I was actually about to go off to cook before I saw Pat was streaming, but now I must go cook. Have a great stream. Have a great night to you. Enjoy cooking. Get some food cooked. Hell yeah. Uh, it was $5. I mean, I understand. Neon green. That sounds great. I mean, there's a reason we start with the recorder, right? It's a low investment in our school, in our musical performances, and maybe we'll get the hook, and then we'll be like, hey, what if we got like, what if you like gave me money to get something? Dirty's here. Only thing left behind in a move was a bottle of bourbon. Hey, that ain't bad either. But yeah, no, I didn't get that. Um, all right, so now we're putting a bunch of stickers on, and just make sure you don't rip them. This is not a flat surface, so we're going to be careful with our sticker application. There's a little bit of give here, and also, as always, folks, I'm going to do a good job, but I'm not aiming for great. I am aiming for doing a good job. So, we could get, and what might be helpful, especially for larger stickers, is to have a Q-tip and so I'm not using my X-Acto knife to kind of bend these down into place. kind of lock them into place there, the back of it. Yeah, that might be good. So we're not going to tear our stickers as we apply them. I would say maybe do that. I got asked a question about. Well, I didn't get asked. A friend of mine posted about Gunpla on Twitter today, and it got me thinking about how, like, hey, people could ask me questions if they wanted to. Like I'm not an expert. In fact, many of y'all know way more about certainly about painting or using markers for model kit building. Like y'all have definitely more experience than I do in certain aspects. But I definitely have some knowledge. So when people are just like, where do I buy Gunpla? I'm like, you could just at me. You could just send me a DM. Like I will tell you that that is a large part of my life. 6 hours a week of my life is model kit building or Lego assembly. That's 6 hours of my life a week when I'm just streaming, let alone ordering things, organizing things, prepping for streams, setting up for the stream, tearing down for the stream, uploading the stuff, posting the links when they go live, sending it to Patreon as soon as it's uploaded. These aren't hard things, but these are things that I do. So it's yeah, I mean, if you have questions about, I was like, if you have questions about model kits, let me know. I'll do my best. I'll tell you what's going on. Try to help people out. Um, I would certainly say it's great to support local, especially with Gunpla. I would say with Lego right now, honestly, legitimately, you probably if you were like, I really want a Lego set, you should probably use big box retail just because the markup on Lego right now is pretty bonkers because there's more of a demand for it and they're not really getting a lot of international shipping. So maybe Amazon or Target, uh, or if you have a place where they do curbside pickup for a Kmart or something, um, that might actually be better. Just because, yeah, it is the demand is high for Lego. But it was marked down, and I bought a Lego set. We need to use the DPA to make more Lego, right? I did buy a Lego set that is nonsense. It's a three-in-one. So the nice thing about for me, for three-in-ones is I'm going to build all three, right? So I have to build it, disassemble it, build it, disassemble it, build it, and then I keep whatever one is built. So that's a lot. That takes a while. That's good for me. Um, or the company Lego Store. Uh, but uh, but it's a monster truck. It's a monster truck burger thing. Uh, and I mean, it's going to take a while to get here because it's dirty. I saw your question. I will get back to you in just a moment. Let me take care of this thing. The thought is in my head, so let me go look at my order thing here and see. I just ordered it now, so it's going to take a little. Yeah, I'm not getting it until next week, which is fine. The three-in-one Monster Burger Truck. It's got a giant burger on it. It's a monster truck that looks like a food truck. Uh, and the driver of it, one, it comes with a minifig dog, and two, the driver has a big handlebar mustache. And there's a smaller burger. And I don't know. I didn't even look to see what the other vehicles were. I just knew that one of them was the monster truck. So I'm gonna build that. Three great tastes that taste great together. Indeed. Are there any Gundam where they're fighting alien creatures instead of other mecha? So Gundam is about the idea of Gundam is that humanity sucks, and to the point where people are like, well, we were born in space, so we're not your kind of humans. Or you're born in space, so you're not our kind of humans. And how war is bad. War is bad and humans suck. So yeah, Aristovan. What I was basically say is, so you're gonna have to look outside Gundam for mecha fighting other things outside threats. Yeah, that's not really Gundam. Yeah. Um, you're gonna deal with that. Uh, um, a lot of Power Rangers style Sentai kind of robot shows. The Power Rangers are gonna have mechs. That's gonna be against aliens or Crete or monsters. Um, that kind of thing. The support vehicles in Gridman are robot, are vehicles that turn into a big robot and weapons. But Is the Expanse just Gundam without mecha? Maybe. I don't really know what. I don't know a lot about the Expanse. But Yeah, I mean it's like the giant robot series stuff. Just well, Solve. First off, hi Solve. Second of all, Solve. You're not wrong that the Devil Gundam is pretty much like a weird kind of xenomorphic kind of like you know, is it a machine? Is it organic machine? But that's stretching it um, a bit, and it's also only one of them, so maybe that's the closest. But yeah, for the most part, the Gundam series are about are man versus man via machinery. Um, and then the new types, they're still all humans. Everybody's a human. Um, yeah, you don't deal a lot with that. Let's see. All right, so A11 and A12. We're now going to be putting on our paws here. Our little feet C's got to get put on. So we need A11 and A12. You do see a little bit of the former kit here. These are like left holdovers from the lion face because this kit, like the Thousand Sunny has this kind of like sun lion head, um, and the real thing that is the main here is just from the other version of the ship. So it's kind of nice. They still have a few of those touches, even though it's got all these new pieces on it as well. And now we got to put paws on this thing, and that does mean that we are putting stickers that we have to like bend over spots, and it's a whole thing. It gets to be a lot to put these stickers on sometimes. 79, 77, 78. 77 first. All right. So many stickers. You gotta find them. 77 is this one. We'll start with the middle, and then we'll go out. I was hoping for a Gundam version of the Roughneck Chronicles. Yeah, no, Dirty. That is not the Gundam thing. Yeah, alien threats turn out to just be like a lot of times it's just like, well, we're the moon people, and you're like, yeah, but you're not aliens. You are a colony that landed on the moon, and generations later, you may think you're different, but you're not. Uh, Lastbrook just subscribed, which is Prime. That's 30 months on a 30-month streak. Let's throw the emotes in the chat. Thank you so much, Lastbrook. That's as many as 3 10s. That's almost terrible. Thank you so much for 30 months, Lastbrook. That is, your continued support means so much to me. Thank you so much for subscribing and renewing subscription. And as always, folks, thank you when you renew your subscriptions on stream. It allows me to thank you properly in the chat during the show. When you hit that button to let people know that you're subscribing, it does mean a lot. All right, we're going to put some stickers on here. These are tiny stickers, so I'm doing my best to keep up with conversation and to do them. That show was the only reason I ever woke up before 6 a.m. on a weekday in school. Uh, Yeah, there's a lot of mecha versus anime. Yes, as Mudon says, there's a lot of also Mudun. Hi Mudun. There's a lot of mecha versus alien. Yeah, that's just never been Gundam's MO. Alright, so 79 is this. Okay, so I need 75 here. All right. Some bends in this one. As I said, these are pretty tiny stickers, so I'm going to I'll try to keep talking as I do them, but it's a little hard. And my tweezers are a little dull right now. Could probably use another tweezers at some point, but whatever. Make do with what we got. Last night in conversation while I was singing, we were talking about anime songs we would like to see be added for karaoke in, or maybe Twitch sings or just in general. And I thought that was really fun to kind of think about, like, yeah, what would be in some shows. Um, and I definitely just like semi casually referenced one of the weirdest things in that exists is the story of what's up with Freckles. So if you are anywhere near my age, and some people younger than me certainly watched the series, but it was a big deal. Uh, the OVA Samurai X, which then later they were like, oh, this is actually this show is called Rurouni Kenshin, but the OVAs were released as Samurai X. Some people know it as Samurai X. It's Rurouni Kenshin. Rurouni Kenshin, the first theme of many, many themes, is a song called Freckles. It is by a punk rock group called Judy and Mary, uh, and it is a fun song. Uh, Now, at some point, uh, I'm going to get to that. Now, at some point, Freckles got covered by a Danish singer named Squiggy. Why she covered Freckles, we don't know. Her Wikipedia page lists her chart-topping songs. It makes no reference to the fact that she did an English language version that was more of a dancey pop version than a rock version of Freckles. So we don't know why that happened. Uh, and then it got remixed by the remix people, KCP, and it appeared in a Dance Dance Revolution game. And it is a very fun song. And I remember clearly dancing to it the first time I had come up to this machine and been like, I mean, I don't know for sure because of these lyrics, but like, because it's in English, I think this is the Rurouni Kenshin theme. And then looking it up and being like, it is. And I don't know why it happened. And it doesn't, like, all the Captain Jack stuff in DDR makes a lot of sense. Like, the Madonna covers, because especially the covers make a lot of sense, especially in the beginning of Konami. Like, instead of licensing, they just got, they licensed for covers because it's just cheaper to do. Um, but it doesn't fucking make any sense why that exists. Uh, and I'll never know, and I would love to know. I'll, I don't know why she covered the song. She's now a DJ, a presenter, a radio DJ. I don't know why she covered the song. I don't know why it ended up in that. I don't know why the English cover of it is in there and not the original Japanese. I don't know, and it doesn't make any fucking sense. But it's a bop. So I'm glad it's in there. Uh, okay. Oh. Yes, Dirty. You were talking about Exo Squad. Exo Squad, yeah, Exo Squad was like man versus genetically enhanced man that were, that had led an uprising that was squashed, and now are now fighting another insurrection. The guy that had turned on his own people was now doing his own version of it. It's a really detailed show, Exo Squad. Also, I don't know if exosuits are mechs or not because they're never piloted remotely. I think Exo Squad, because they're exoskeletons, so I don't know if they're mechs, and I don't want to get into it. I'll say this: I don't care if they're mechs or not. It was a cool show. So it's okay if they're mechs, and it's okay if they're not mechs. I don't actually need to know for sure. Sometimes you just don't need to know. It's okay not knowing. All right, let's get in this here. We will take a pause for the calls in a moment or two. I'll talk about ways you can support the channel if you'd like. I'll give some links to some things I've made. Uh, uh, People were really interested in my cat breeds video for Baering the List. My newest Baering the List I put up yesterday has gotten so few views. Apparently, people do not need to know do not want to know my ranking of the characters in the anime series New Game, the season 1 and 2 of New Game. My ranking of that is not doing necessarily great. I mean, it's only been up there one day. You have to tell me if you're a mech. Mask or Exo Squad. Dirty, those are very different shows. Um, Mask exists only to sell merchandise. It's part of that era. Um, I mean, Mask is transforming vehicles, and they're transforming. A motorcycle becomes a helicopter. There's a goofy robot sidekick that becomes a. There's a robot that at some point puts out arms and like feet out for his human friend to jump on, to ride around on. So there's a robot in there that basically becomes a Segway. Um, it is it's a wild show. I had toys for both. Yeah, Dirty. I never had toys for Exo Squad. I never got those, but I definitely had some Mask vehicles. I definitely had that car. I had that the laziest conversion, the car that the door, the laziest and maybe most dangerous, because it just becomes a plane, a jet, because it's wings, or doors becomes wings, and then rockets come out of the back of it. That one's the laziest. I did love the motorcycle that becomes the helicopter. I always thought that was pretty cool. And I did like the truck where like part of the truck, the pickup, like could like disassemble. Mask was pretty great. Um, I've been part of. We broke up collectively, but there has been conversation about starting up again. Um, but it sounds like we might at some point uh, revive the one-shot group that I was part of that was based loosely on Mask. It was an RPG group. So we used Fiasco as our framework, and the premise was that there was a large collective of characters, and you could just pick your character, and you could, and they were all characters like they were all like, for hire, uh, secret identity, let's go out and do a thing. And the idea was we did this big framework where we had 4 or 5 people who would run the games and then a bunch of people who would play. And so you could be matched up with people who'd played a game like last week, but you didn't play. It was a way to get a bunch of people who wanted to do, RPG stuff in D&D, but couldn't commit to a full campaign, but every once in a while they could pop in. and we would bring people in, and then you'd be able to like, well, a month ago my truck got upgraded, and you're like, oh, cool, and you could like kind of tell what the story was, and it was a fun way to involve people that had kind of we're too busy, and it kind of fell apart, but now we're talking about doing it, and we could do it all through Roll20 and Discord and whatever. It was pretty neat, and I do miss that group, but it kind of like fell apart. But it was a fun way to get people like to do a bunch of one shots, and it was all like kind of semi real world. We're gonna figure this part out, like shenanigans. It was pretty enjoyable. All right, I'm gonna get all the pieces I need for the next step, and then we'll just get those out. We gotta apply some somewhat tiny stickers here, so I'm gonna just do this, and we'll take a pause for the cause in a moment. Still got those mass toys, Jam. Hell yeah. Yeah, I had as a young man, there was a house fire in my childhood home, and so I lost just about all of my original toys. Not that I was ever really precious with them um, at the time. I gave away a lot of toys to younger cousins or whatever. Uh, oh, you had Centurion. Oof. Yeah. Man and Machine, Power Extreme. Yeah, that show, I bet that doesn't hold up. I bet if you watched a random episode of that, you'd be like, yikes, what am I even looking at? Yeah, I bet that is not great. I bet that's not real great. All right. Okay, we're taking a pause for the cause, folks. If you don't know what that means, this is what that means. Um, I'm going to give you some options if you want to support the stream, the channel, me. You don't have to do any of it. You can just hang out for a couple minutes. We'll get back to building and assembly, but we're going to take a couple minutes. It's a pause for the cause. This is just like my ad break. Ways you can support the channel if you are so inclined. You are under no obligation to do so, but if you'd like to, you can. If you're currently a subscriber, you can go to the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat, the chat. Let the people know. Dirty and Jam already did that. If you're a tier 2, you get the site, the moat, but nobody really is. Our two tier 2 folks don't watch regularly. They watch it on YouTube, which is awesome. But yeah, I got some ways to support the channel if you'd so like to. I also have a Patreon. If you don't want to become a subscriber here, you can join my Patreon. And that's another way because there are different tiers. There's the $1, the $3, $5, $10. You could be like Dirty and gift a sub. You could be like Harold and use your bits and coins to benefit the stream. And anything that comes from my Patreon or through my streams here for being a subscriber goes to me buying kits and equipment, and it continues the process of me doing my things. I also have donation pages. Crazy Like Fox just subscribed. 9 months in the cave. Hopefully not a preview of the quarantine. Yeah, let's hope, Crazy Like Fox. Thank you so much. I'm going to hit the soundboard thing here. Thank you for renewing your subscription and doing it while we're on stream. Also, hi, Crazy Like Fox. Welcome, welcome. 9 months. Hell yeah. I have donation links, and that's just buying stuff. Like, I'm going to buy things. I have to buy model kits to keep building model kits, and they're going to be more expensive, and they're going to take longer to ship, and all of the realities of the world we live in. And that's okay, and we're going to make do. But yeah, some donations links. If you're watching this later on YouTube, all of this is in the show description, so you can just click the show description and see all those things there. Jacob McCourt just cheered 50. Pat, I just saw you in Broad City. Thanks for doing what you do. Thank you so much. Yes. I appreciate that so much. I'm going to hit the old applause there. Thank you for the bits. I was in the episode Wisdom Teeth, where they go to the Gowanus Whole Foods, which is a real Whole Foods in Gowanus. And it is very fun for people that maybe watched that show before they knew who I was and saw that episode and didn't recognize me because they didn't know me yet, and then later see it again. That's very fun. That was a great day. And I remember I auditioned for that, and then I went to PAX West, and then when I was at PAX West, I got the notice that I had been booked the part, and then I was so glad that they were not filming while I was in Seattle. Thank God, the timing worked out. I didn't have to like catch a new flight or whatever, and spend all the money I was going to make doing it. Also, shout out to Broad City for demanding Comedy Central that they were a union show. And I am not currently in SAG-AFTRA, but I get treated like I am because I was on a SAG-AFTRA show. They went out of their way to fight for that, and it rules. Um, hey, Crazy Like Fox, you just subscribed to Tier 2. That's so rad. Enjoy your Death Scythe emote. Thank you so much. That's awesome. Uh, Thanks for upgrading. That's neat to tell. All right, let's get through these quickly, and then we'll keep going. But I do like to say when I can say, give a shout out to the folks there. A little more bucks for you. Well, I appreciate that so much. Thank you. That's awesome. And I get more sub points, which is a thing. I have an Amazon wish list. Now, I'm not here to tell you to use Amazon or not. I am saying that if you're looking for Lego out there, Amazon's probably going to be better than some of your local stuff, because right now the demand is very high and their prices are sometimes reasonable, and they at least have things in stock. But I got some model kits here. You could click and buy them from there, and then you can leave a note, and they'll jump the queue, and I'll build them there. I got some high grades that are fairly inexpensive. I got some master grades up in there that are definitely more expensive. That is an option. Obviously, like everything else, you're under no obligation to do that. But if that's how you'd like to support the stream, you can do that, and I would appreciate it. Also, USA Gundam Store is still shipping. The thing with USA Gundam Store is you can buy a gift card there that's digital, and they'll send you a code. And then you can whisper me here on Twitch, or you can send me a DM on Twitter because my DMs are open. And that's a way to support the stream, is to buy a gift card there. And it's to me. They are shipping things. I just purchased a few things from them. Thank you to the person. I don't know if it doesn't pop up as a pop-up here, but somebody just sent me something on Coffee or Ko-Fi. I think it's Coffee. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate it very much. Thank you for that donation there. It doesn't pop up. Streamlabs does, but the Coffee doesn't. But I appreciate it. Thank you very much. That will go in my fund for model kit buying. All right, we'll get through these pretty quickly here. I apologize. Sometimes these take a little while. I have a Discord. You can join my Discord if you wanted to. That's a great way to support the stream. Is jump in the Discord. That doesn't cost you anything. You can just jump in there, hang out, talk to other people who are building stuff. People post photos of things they're working on. I post photos after every stream. It's a nice little way to keep up with what's going on. I'm going to drink a little water here, and then in a minute, so we'll put that in there and remind people to stretch their arms, get ready, drink some water. Here's some links to things. Pat Baer's Anime Club. I put this up on Monday. I talk about the 4 shows I'm most interested in that came out. Now, one of those shows hasn't had a second episode yet, so I'll know tomorrow if one of those shows, it might be a little iffy. But I think that the other 3 are solid as hell and great shows to check out this season if you're looking for a new show to watch. And then Baering the List I put out yesterday. It's talking about the characters from New Game. If you want to see my ranking of all of the many characters in New Game and the second series, New Game 2 exclamation points. It's not called New Game Plus. They fucked up. And then, oh yeah, must have seen TV, the podcast I was on. If you're looking for a podcast, check out Brett White from Decider. Has a podcast. He's putting out a bunch of episodes, some quick and dirty episodes, and I was pleasure to be on that one with an old friend that I have not seen in a long time, Bridget Fitzgerald, and Smarley Bridge. And it was really nice and fun to be on that podcast and talk shit about a thing that I think is bad. So you can listen to that if you're looking for a podcast to pick up. And here we go. I'm gonna drink a little water. Then I don't have my water with me. I'm not gonna drink any water. Fuck it. We're just gonna go for it. I didn't grab my water, and that's okay. Pat, I just saw my Gundam order for Japan that I ordered 3/4/20, shipped 3/19, and has been sitting with UPS for the past month. Oh, dirty. I'm so sorry. That sucks so much. Uh, that sucks. That's been sitting for a whole month, just like chilling. Yeah. I mean, it only, it only took 2 weeks. International order stuff like that is so like hit or miss. You never really know. You have to really keep an eye on it at the best of times. Well, I hope you get that straightened out, Dirty, and I hope you get what's coming to you, which is in a good way, not in a bad way, because has has negative connotations. I hope you get your Gundam order. Okay, so um, uh, I'll enjoy come May or June, right? Jesus. Um, okay, so start applying sticker from here. 64, 60, and 88. All right, so we'll do 64 first. Okay, so let's talk about anime. A bunch of anime I have to talk about with you. We'll start with Black Clover. So we are in uncharted territory right now with Black Clover because um, this is going to be an arc that was not. That's like, I guess you could call it. Yeah, it's the first filler arc. It's the first non-canon arc in the series. So that's definitely interesting. That is a new thing. Um, so it'll be interesting to see where they go with that. It's going to be a training arc. Now, I don't know how many episodes it's going to be with that, but I will say this first episode, which was just like the meeting of the many people uh, um, kind of talking to each other about what's going on, the captains kind of going over stuff. We found out a cool little bit of business that I love, that I hope is canon and isn't just added for the filler. Is the knowledge that Rill, the captain who's the young captain, um, he got beat up by Charmy, like adult size Charmy, uh, and he doesn't know who it is because I don't think he may have met Charmy, but he hasn't met Charmy in that form. And I love that he was just like, oh, that tough girl that like beat me up when I was like when an elf took over my body. I'm into her. And I just think that's a really cute choice. I really like that. Um, let's see. That was fun. Yeah, some character interactions that were kind of cool. Vengeance and uh, getting kind of forgiven, William, and almost a little bit of like niceness from the that goddamn creep, the Jack the Ripper guy. As I said, I always have a soft spot in my heart for characters who are basically designed like they're villains, but they're not villains. And his name is Jack the Ripper, and his magic ability is cutting things. There's nothing he can't cut. And if he can't cut it, he'll figure out a way to do it. And he has like wrist blades, like a praying mantis. And I just fucking love him because he just seems like a nightmare thing. I just love his weirdness. Um, so yeah, so that was fine. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see where they go with this, with the storyline and how long it takes and the differences. I'm still behind in the manga, so I'm not caught up to where the anime is in the manga, but I have been reading it and enjoying it, so I should I should get caught up. Um, Next show, Diary of Our Days at the Breakwater. I'm just gonna keep calling this show Breakwater because it's too long of a it's a bad long name. Uh, so I reported last week on the show that I thought it was going to be fun. The idea of a fishing show, a slice of life about a girl. They're all girls in this. The high school girls, and their after school club is the fishing club. And of course, their clubhouse is not near the school, but they're in a coastal town, so they got to go. It's not that popular. Uh, Blue is saying my audio is a bit weird. Is anybody having issues with my audio? Um, Let me know if anyone else is having uh, in the chat if you want to tell me if you're having audio issues as well. Let me know. Blue's saying that it's very choppy. Video looks okay. If you're having audio issues as well, let me know. Saying that it's very choppy. Okay, I'm listening now to myself, and it sounds fine. So, yeah, Blue. I think it's you. So sorry, but yeah, hit refresh. Maybe check your bit rate. Maybe that'll help some. I don't know. Maybe drop it down a little lower. But I've had no drop frames or anything, and yeah, and nobody else seems to be having audio issues. Um, so the second episode of Breakwater, definitely, totally on my end, I guess. Yeah. Well, I'm glad. Thanks for letting me know, though, because it's sometimes it is me, so it's good to know if it is. False alarm. So Breakwater, I I was a little apprehensive because the idea is like this is a girl who Hina wanted to join the crafting club, the handcrafts club, and she has gotten roped in to joining the uh, the Breakwater club, the fishing club, and she didn't really want to do that. She kind of got coerced slash tricked slash forced into doing it, and that's not really slice of life. Usually, slice of life is, oh, what's this? I'm inquisitive. I'm interested, and now I've got a whole new world. Or I've been waiting for people to want to do the thing that I've always wanted to do, and it's usually like that, and it's rarely like, ha ha ha, you're joining. Uh, so, but it was really fun. It's a good. Second episode is really good. There is a moment where like she's like, oh, I'm hanging out at the fishing club, and her mom is like, what about crafting? And she's like, a lot happened. And then her mom's just like, okay, well, bring home some tasty fish for me to cook. Like that's her like that like I don't know, there was a good supportive mom moment and that was really cute and nice, which feels very slice of life like uh I compare to other slice of lives that are great like um you look at Laid Back Camp. There's no scene in Laid Back Camp where anyone's just like, you shouldn't be camping. What are you even doing? Like, there's none of that. It's just like, oh, cool. That's what you do? Great. Uh, in There's one character that doesn't think that playing cards or games is fun in After School Dice Club, and she is clearly fucking wrong and like pointedly wrong. And has to like learn a valuable lesson. So it was a little weird to have this anime, first episode of the anime, be like, I don't know about this. And there's still some trickery happening, but it's not much. And then also, the minor character of Makoto Ono, the second year, who is quiet and very knowledgeable, but also very tall, like she's a big, tall person. She's a great character already. There's also a recurring gag where Hina is trying to cast a line and keeps hitting her childhood friend, whose name I can't remember, who is a fangirl. It's just like a bundle of energy, fun character. She's that archetype. She kept getting hit no matter what, so eventually they put a buoy out there with her likeness on it so that Hina would hit it, and she did the very first time. It was just cute. There's like a lot of cute moments in the show, and I'm a big fan of it. Of that. Um, so I would say if you're looking for a cool slice of life, as I said, there's a little awkwardness in the first episode. It's more sports anime ish in the coercion. Not really sure I want to do this kind of thing. But the second episode is just really fun and cute, and I am yeah, I'm a huge fan of it. It is a uh, it's a really good time. So that is my recommendation. It's one of my favorite shows so far. Only 2 episodes in, but I like it. Um, okay, Tower of God. Uh, Good character development. We're getting the I forget the dude's name, but the white-haired guy, Killua. It's basically Killua, right? Uh, we find he's helping out our main character Bam mostly because he's got determined eyes and he was betrayed and he wants good things for this kind of like innocent guy. Um, and that's kind of interesting. Yeah, we're meeting some of the other characters. We're learning that the lizard girl is like pretty dang OP and like doing a good job. Uh, there's some trials. We're learning about some of the characters, and then a thing I did not expect, folks. The end of episode 3, setting up for episode 4. Uh, this is fucking weird, man. So the whole point is this dude, like there's this tower and you fight and you can go up and you do this whole thing. Uh, he's there because he is trying to track down this girl that like took care of him after he ended up in this weird dead zone with no memories. She's basically like his everything, and she's there. Apparently, her trials ended like really early. Uh, it shouldn't have ended as early as it did, and she's definitely murdered some people, and which is whatever. Uh, and so I guess next episode we're gonna meet this girl, and like, what happens then? Like, she's definitely got to be weirded out by the idea that he's like there because it's fucking weird. Yeah, and I don't know what happens. It'll be interesting to see. Um, Tower of God's fine. I'm getting used to the art style. I don't love the art style. I hate the music. The opening and ending themes are bad, and I think that they are very bad. And I get that they are trying to be like appealing to as many people as possible. I think, but I think that I don't know. I think they are garbage, not garbage, but just poor choices. Do not like the music for Tower of God in that sense. But I think the animation style is growing on me. I don't have a lot of experience with webtoons. Um, I know the God of High School anime is coming. I think that's what it's called. And apparently people fucking love that shit. So that's coming this summer. People seem to be amped about that, and it's another webtoon. Like I said, I don't have a lot of experience with that, but psyched to see it. I'll say that. The Eighth Son. Are you kidding me? Okay, we've got now. This is an isekai, y'all. If you watched the first 2 episodes and you were like, this, he is still a young boy, even though he is an older man in this young boy's body. This is slow as hell. To be fair, it is still slow. In another isekai, the 3 characters that are going to be part of his party and his friends would have already been part of his party halfway through the episode or immediately. This took the entire episode because he's skilled. He's so skilled in magic that his instructor's like, I have nothing to teach you. I don't know what to tell you. Um, so everyone's like, Well, you join a party in school, in adventure school, and most of the time you stick with that party. So anyone that joins this party is in for easy streak because he's so OP. Uh, so basically, the other characters who would in any other class would be the OP characters. They're all like they're not going to inherit anything because that's very important in the show. But they all have skills. There's like a great knight who's great with a bow and a sword. There is a martial artist who is young and plucky and fun and small. And then there is the spear hunter who seems to be the down to earth one, who may be the love interest. We also know from the opening that there's also another mage character because he's the mage. There's a mage character coming and a healer coming. Uh, because also in the I don't remember if the dude is in the first episode. I'll have to watch the beginning of the first episode again to see if the dude is there. But I know the ladies are there. Also, I like that there's a dude. Like, yes, there's going to be 4 ladies in this crew, but there's also a guy, and that's fun. Sometimes you need a bro in your harem isekai. So while it is slow and there's some comedy of errors of like characters not really wanting to be or thinking they're not worthy, and some people thinking they totally are, it's still an isekai. It turns out the guy that he trained him, his master recognizes, oh, this is the dude. So he ends up inheriting the house and the estate of his former master, and now some other people know who taught him and that he released him before he turned into a zombie. And it's this whole kind of dramatic thing because he was a young child when it happened. Because it was like 7, he was like 7 or 9 or something. Because he's a teen in school. It is fun to see like this guy, like they think that he's being aloof, but he just isn't good at being friends, like making friends and talking to people. Like he isolated himself and he wasn't a social person in his real life, and he's not a social person in this fantasy world that he's now in. And I like that. Like I said, there are some touches that are interesting and kind of fun. Uh, he he basically says like, "Oh, these people are in my party," and they're like, "Why did you say that we're in your party?" And he was like, "I don't want to go talk to some old guy by myself." They're like, "What? Is that why?" So it's kind of fun. Um, I'm happy we are in the actual isekai portion of the show, and we are past the "I am a young person" portion. Um, I'm hoping that is that will continue to be cool. I do want to say this is basically the Thousand Sunny lion, and we're just putting this over it. And I love that it's just like modification done. That they put that on there. I think that's really fun. We got to put eyes on this thing, so we'll do that. 82. All right. All right. Yeah. So yeah, is it your standard typical isekai? 100%. There's nothing. So the only thing that's interesting so far, about really sets it apart so far, is that it is pretty slow. That we have just completed, the third episode? Yeah, we're in the third episode, and he just formed a party. Uh, and he doesn't have a rival yet per se. Although the guy who's the master of the magician, the magic guy that trained him, uh, he's got henchman hair. Like he just got his character design screams, "I am going to betray you," because he's got like two-tone hair on a dude, and not like, oh, I got like a cool like uh, cowlick or part. He's just got like I'm all one hair, and then I've got like bangs of a different color, and that's telling me that this dude is fucking evil. He's definitely gonna betray. Because that's also a big thing about I guess is because they always talk about like all the friends he just made are all like they're daughters, so they're not gonna inherit anything. They're not the firstborn. Um, So they're not. So it's kind of like, at being adventurers was like their way out. Uh, but I know that betrayal is coming because that is like apparently a part of this story. So it'll be interesting to see where that goes. You know me, I like an isekai. That's just part of who. That's just part of Pat Baer. Is that I like the isekais. All right. Kakushigoto. Fucking man, this show is so much better than I like. This show did itself such a disservice by its plot summary because it sounded like look, is it funny? Is it silly? Yes. It it is the story of a manga artist who doesn't want his daughter to know what he does for a living because he's embarrassed about it. Uh, and that is like the boilerplate reason. But it's also he's a single dad. We definitely get the impression that his wife died. That this is not a divorced dad. This is a single dad because there's a large portion of episode 3 about like a kid should have a mother, um, which is used to comedic effect because he makes a bunch of minor characters in the show think that he's talking about them like becoming like her pseudo mother, which he is not. He doesn't realize he is doing that apparently, including like the teacher who knows his secret and is a fan, um, the uh, the person he learns how to make a bento for, teaches those classes. The florist, like basically. Oh, also there's a high school girl that has a crush on him. She doesn't think he was flirting with her. She just has a crush on him. Um, it's fun. It is a lot of like the misdirections and the like keeping a secret thing. There's also, I should say this. Um, there's also a lot of stuff about being a manga artist. There's a lot of like, oh, there was the manga guy who like wrote out on the beach. This is a fable they tell about the story of the guy who got a beach property in this place, but none of his no assistant would ever work there because they didn't want to travel, and uh, he couldn't hit deadlines, and he ran out of what or something. I can't remember the thing, but it's just like there's a lot of stories in the show about being a manga artist. It's not like Bookseller, Honda-san in its detail, but it because it is definitely more of a comedy. But it's fun. Also, uh, we keep seeing in the first episode and then this third episode, uh, and a young lady version of the girl, um, of Hime, uh, discovering this storage unit, which was their old house. And now we find out that the new house they live in was modeled after the old one. So definitely he can't live in that. Like my assumption is he can't live in the house that his wife like died that he lived with his wife in. So he moved and just recreated the house, which is very weird. Um, so there's definitely more to this show. It is a slice of life, but it's got more to it, and I'm definitely happy that I checked it out. I didn't watch it at first. The first episode came out. I hadn't watched it, but it's growing on me. I uh uh Kakushigoto. It's 3 episodes in. It's solid. That's a solid, funny show. And the reason why the premise of like him keeping the secret from uh um his daughter works is because it's not every moment of the show. There's other stuff happening in it. All right. Now, it is officially time. Bum bum bum. Infinite Dendrogram is finally goddamn over. After a delay for episode 13, after a delay before episode 11, after a delay before episode 3 or 4, I cannot remember which one, the show has had a bunch of delays because a lot of the action was done in China by a Chinese animation studio, a CG studio. So there were delays, and I'm not mad about the delays. But I am a little. Look, I'm not mad that those delays happened. I am only mad about it because it meant that this show kept going when I would have loved it to have fucking stopped. And it's finally over. I watched it out of a sense of obligation to finish the fight. Um, I cannot say good things about it. I am happy that it is over. I am so pleased to report that I have finally finished fucking watching Infinite Dendrogram. Do you believe this show? First of all, 13 episodes for a show that is not that good. Second of all, go out of their way to talk about how the main villain in the show, who we had no real understanding of their motivations other than they hate losing, but whatever. They're basically just like, well, uh, it was finite after all. Well, who knows? Maybe there's gonna be a second. I haven't looked up to see if a second season is coming. Um, but they're basically just like, all right, well, uh, our main villain who got beaten is going to be doing even more villainy. Oh, look out. There's more villain stuff coming because you didn't, it's still a video game. So even though you beat them, it's not like you murdered them. This show is going to continue. Yeah, the fight was anticlimactic. He loses. So here's the thing. Dying in this game sucks, and it negatively affects your nemesis, which is your embryo. Sorry, her name is Nemesis. Your embryo, which is basically your like AI companion. Dying in the game negatively affects that. So he loses an arm, and he decides not to just die so that it resets, because it would, because it negatively affect her. But they don't fucking say that. They don't say that. You have to remember that. So instead, you're just like, wait, why the fuck? Why would he keep not having one arm? He's a paladin character. What is this? It is an unsatisfactory conclusion that is definitely doing that so that it could get a second season, and it does not deserve one. If that gets a second season and Buffery doesn't, I'm going to be bummed out because Buffery is a lovely show. That does everything Infinite Dendrogram tries to do way better, because it is a comedy. So it can do the stuff that show can't do, like have a personality. It's really frustrating because that is, like I said, it's just not a good program. And I wanted to like it. There's just no way I could. But yeah, it's over, and I'm grateful it's over. So that's Infinite Dendrogram. I can close the book on that show. I started watching on Hulu. I watched the last episode of Funimation when I made the jump to Funimation. I still have plenty of shows to watch. I haven't tried that millionaire detective show. It's like, what if Batman was a cop? Instead of Batman. What if Bruce Wayne was a cop? I'm sorry, instead of Batman. I haven't watched that yet. I've heard okay things about it. I might check it out. But my Friday and Saturday viewing, there's a lot of shows. And right now, only one show that I'm watching on Fridays and Saturdays am I like thinking maybe gets dropped. Because a Perry Ronman is a great idea, but it could really fuck up the execution of that idea. It all depends. If the race is actually at the end of this first season, and the whole season is them getting to the race part, like I'm not super into that. I would have been more interested in the wacky races element, but I don't know. But yeah, I'm gonna keep down with Dino and My Next Life is a Villainous and Kaguya-sama and Descendants of a Bookworm and Food. Food Wars could take a turn, but right now I'm invested in Food Wars. I was going to say, what if Batman was a cop? Is it much of a change? Yeah, so basically, last break, what if a millionaire playboy, brilliant martial artist, great detective, joined the police force and has, like, a cool police force crew? That's basically it. I guess that's the millionaire one, detective or whatever. That's the premise of it. I don't know. Uh, for person, there are two people I know who watched it and liked the first episode. So I might check it out because of that, but I don't know. Like I said, yeah. Right now, the my first drop is listeners, and my second drop is probably going to be Princess Reconnect, or sorry, Princess Connect Redrive, because it is not doesn't seem great. It all depends. Like I said, over the weekend, my main thing is it's a Monday. If the main dude is still just a clueless person the entire length of the show, I'm out because it's kind of getting old fast. I just don't like the very concept of it's not that he has amnesia. He has amnesia. He just also doesn't have any knowledge. Good night, Harold. Thanks for hanging out. Have a good one. I'll see you again soon, my friend. Thanks for being here. We got another 15 minutes of stream left, folks. Then we will go raid, because that's what we do at the end of the streams now, is we raid somebody else so that we can share the love. Oh boy, so many stickers. We got a lot done today, though. We definitely got a lot of detail done. So that has been nice. Nice to see the details coming in. And as we start to build up and out this kit, there's still two stickers that I'm like, I don't know where these are supposed to go, and I feel like I might have missed them. Might have been part of something somewhere, but whatever. Stickers 90, sticker 91. I feel like when I put on 92, I was probably supposed to put 91 on somewhere. Oh, no, I don't know. I don't know what 92 was, but I'm looking at 91, and it's like there. So I don't know. I'll go through and figure it out. But there's one more of these like bridge component parts that I just don't see where I would have put it. I don't know. We'll keep going here. But yeah, I'm looking forward to more shows. Like I said, listeners is something I dropped. Princess Reconnect is something that may go next because I'm not really enjoying it. But everything else, I've been really liking. This has been a very strong season. Okay, so it's a strong season of good shows. I don't know if there's anything that's like great, like exceptional, standout, incredible. But there's a lot of shows that are like, this is good. So that has been nice. I got no problem with having a bunch of, that's good shows. All right. Let's see. I don't know. I'm not really binging anything else. I mean, I'm watching a lot of Twitch streams. That's been nice. Seeing people do stuff. Uh, that's been pretty good. Watching a lot of Hearthstone streamers and their YouTube highlights because that just is a thing that I like. I just know that about myself. I like watching fun, interesting YouTube's, or that. Depending on how it goes, I feel like Gallon Dino could end up great. So, right now, Gallon Dino is wonderfully weird. I really want to know what happens with the live action portion. I think that the animated portion is great. I really like this Gallon Dino and their dealing. I want to know where the live action portion goes now that we've introduced the gal portion of it, if it's just going to be more of the same, if we're going to see that guy again. That part I think is going to be kind of cool to keep an eye on because I just don't know where it goes from here. Um, but yeah, I'm not like I look. It is definitely one of my favorites so far, and I think it'd be great. But it also is so weird. I have had a couple of my friends who were like, "Hey, what should I watch?" And I like listed a few things, and one person watched Gal and Dino watched the first episode because it was, they're like, "Oh, I don't have Funimation, but I can watch the first episode." So they watched the first episode and they were like, I did not like that." And I'm like, "Okay, okay." Um, my next Pat Bear's Anime Club, which will be not for a little while, is going to be about like binge shows you can just kind of like watch all of that are longer. Like I think like my goal is not shows that are like this has 12 episodes or 13, that has like at least 2 seasons or is like an ongoing shonen or something like that. Uh, and it'll be fun to recommend a few things for that. So I know people are looking for more things to binge out there. Just watch a lot of, because it's people are looking for entertainment and looking at hanging out. I mean, like uh, people are watching a lot more streams and hanging out, and a lot more people are streaming, which is cool. That has been fun to see that. Uh, I mentioned earlier in the stream. I need to do something tomorrow. Right now, I don't have any plans for tomorrow, and I gotta like do something. Uh, because the alternative is just not doing anything. So I don't have anything to do tomorrow. And I was just like, oh, I can't do that. That's that's rough. I've like, oh, that is bad on me if I'm not doing anything. It just like hurts my brain. So I'm definitely gonna try to find an activity for tomorrow. Cause that'll just be fun. Okay. So this goes on here. Wrap these around. Long stickers that wrap around. Yay, we did it. And then this goes here. Our living quarters. Now have some windows. Yeah. Cool. Uh, being Kim's convenience, you have a Netflix. Yeah, I don't have Netflix right now. I go through bits and spurts with Netflix. I don't keep it month to month. I am like that with that and WWE Network and a few other things that I don't use consistently. My consistent ones are Crunchyroll and uh, I am often using Funimation. It was Hulu, but I've fully switched, and I'm glad I did. Because a lot of the shows I like on Funimation didn't end up on Hulu this time around. So, and also, I'm not watching ads anymore. So even if I'm paying a couple more bucks, the idea of not seeing ads is great. I do miss some of the television stuff that Hulu had, but whatever. It happens. All right, and then this goes here. All right. Okay, that's going to wrap it up there. We're going to end here on step 20. We are going to be adding the wings on soon, and then we will build the mast, and then we will build the sails. And oh, that's that piece. Is that 51? Is that the one that I? No, that's 91. Well, what is that one? I'm gonna have to figure out what 91 was. It may just be a step I missed somewhere. Um, but we will start to add all of these components together. There's 41, 48. Yeah, I don't know. We'll add these components together in the future on Saturday. Oh, Ig just redeemed. Wants to hear that gong. It's time to gong it up. Funimation has great shows, but man, that Winter Feature, Ig, it is terrible. Um, I was talking about this over the weekend. Kageyama-sama, Love is War. I watched the first season on Crunchyroll. Second season is not on Crunchyroll. It's on Funimation. That web interface does not want me to watch start season 2 since I haven't watched season 1 on the app. They were like, or on the web, they were like, you mean season 1, right? And I'm like, no, I don't. Thank you, Aristophan. So we are going to go ahead and raid a stream. That is what we do here. We raid at the end of our streams. So we're going to, I'm going to find somebody to do that because it's good to share the wealth. And I'm hearing my own voice, so I'm going to mute that. All right, so we don't want that, we don't want that, we don't want that. All right, why not? You might not know he does it. Uh, we're going to raid. Oh, wait, no. All right, he's on break, so we're not going to raid him. I thought we were gonna raid Dan Reichert, but he is on break right now, and I'm not raiding a breaker. So let's instead we're gonna raid Xandra. She made our emotes. She's lovely. She's playing a weird game that I know nothing about, and that'll be fun. So we're gonna go and raid Xandra. We were gonna raid Dan Reichert playing Resident Evil 3, but he is on a break, and we're not raiding a break. Forget that. So if you want to come along for the ride, you can. If you're not, that's cool. I'll see you in the next build with Baer. And thanks so much for hanging out with us. And my next stream will be on Saturday, 9 p.m. Eastern, continuing.